Hello, guys. I am Shane Davis, 20-year comic book veteran. We're going to talk a little bit today about the divide at Warner Brothers and what this is actually going to mean for DC Comics, or what we can speculate at this point in time. But Warner Brothers has divided into two halves. Now, this is sort of interesting in the sense that what this is going to mean for DC Comics, right? So where we're at today is basically Warner Brothers being a mega, conglomerate where they own so many different things like CNN, some sports stuff, the HBO Max, this, the actual Warner Brothers lot, all of these things, tours, theme parks, things like that, that they've actually divided themselves into two halves. And this is supposed to be better for shareholders. That way that these two halves are easily branded, I guess. And it makes sense, that you need to break off like this, but that they can stand on their or on their own merits and profit from it, whatever, right? But what's interesting to us, because we like the comic stuff, is what does this actually mean for DC Comics in this situation? Now, DC Comics is getting cut up to go with the streaming side of things, the DC Studios side, not the global network. The global network, like I said before, will mainly be like things like Discovery Plus, CNN, I don't know, other digital brands. Some of these I've never really heard of, but and I guess it's a global thing in other countries. So anyways, back to what matters, DC Comics, right? Well, DC Comics is getting roped in with DC Studios. Now, why this is important is because the comics, the comics are in Burbank now. They have been for quite some time. When they came in and pulled everybody from DC Comics from New York City to Burbank, we've lost publishers since then, stuff like that. But the company's still there, and they still make the books, but from California, from the studio. Now, James Gunn's big plan, which he had rolled out before, we'll see 2 live-action films per year, 1 animated film per year, 2 live-action series per year, 2 animated series for HBO Max per year. This is a lot. This is a lot. And some could say maybe coming in during superhero fatigue, maybe a little bit less superheroes would be better than a little bit more. But it ain't going to slow down at DC Comics. And all of this is being primed for shareholders leading up to the release of the new Superman movie. Now, there's a lot in there, a lot of characters, and we can go off on tangents on that. I think there's too much there for story reasons, but obviously it's there for the big 10-year plan, which is stresses there's a 10-year plan for all of this. Now, that sounds great on paper, but if this movie underperforms, or I don't know, they land a dud here or there, a couple of them, are they really committed to 10 years? No, they're not. We've seen this happen before, right? With superhero stuff, people pull out of things. So my fear is, and where I'm going at, because we're primarily a comic book channel. I mean, there's a lot of studio stuff here and everything, and shareholder stuff, but DC Comics themselves, or you could argue like Marvel and DC, it is very evident if people are in denial of it. Okay, if you're a comic book creator and you're wanting to work for Marvel and DC, that you are right now working as a research and development type of creator. That's it. That is what you're doing, research and development, because now it's the game is the big studios. That's where you're at, the big studio, right? Everything is now being drawn and pitched on the lot or close to an executive. If they're thinking of what to do with Aquaman, they're probably going to make 2 Aquaman books, an absolute Aquaman and a regular Aquaman, and they're going to test some stories through that and then pick and choose. You're going to probably see more, what I would guess, like maxi type series, mini series, 8-issue, 12-issue. I think it's going to be less about readership and more about concept and seeing what people think about it. We are in the era of research and development comics. If you, I don't know if there's any more to say about it. I've said we've been here for a long time. This is very evident that that's what it is. So What does this mean for comic folk? Well, it means like you may live and die by James Gunn. Like, and let me explain that. If Superman comes out and it's a big old hit, tons of movies, they got their 10-year plan. The American comic book industry, maybe they'll throw some more money into it, higher page rates, better, more prestige books, maybe, or maybe they'll just run like normal. And there'll be just more miniseries every time, if somebody's thinking of doing a Wonder Woman movie, they're probably going to do like, I don't know, 6 different Wonder Woman miniseries that year, plus the ongoing to try to figure out what angle they want. And as every freelancer working, you're going to have to wonder, am I going to be paid if any of this stuff is being pulled from? I remember one of the last projects I worked on at DC Comics, I was 3 issues in. It hadn't even been solicited yet. And the publisher told me they had already slid it past the table of the TV people. That is the new American comic book. Now, if James Gunn has a horrible flop, what does that mean? Does it mean that they pull out of publishing altogether? It's a weird time, like that. This is all syncing up. This big push on the new superhero movie, when literally the direct market's bankrupt. Like when we're having issues with some stores closing, the distributor Diamond going under, chaos, most publishers having to pin new deals with Penguin Random House, which I'll be honest, I still don't know how interested Penguin Random House is on single issues. My gut tells me they were going along with it because it was the market. But when they kind of dominate this market now, they might not want to handle single issues. They may want to go straight to trades. Time will tell. That's going to be a cash flow problem for a lot of publishing. And there's a lot of publishers out there that do not look like in good shape. And a lot of the American comic book industry has been running off the fumes of we are research and development, and the big company doesn't care if it loses money on us. This is a dangerous, dangerous bet. All through my comic career, I've heard that Warner Brothers doesn't care about DC Comics. They leave us alone, but they were selling books. They were making money. And Warner Brothers was making money selling t-shirts, movies, toys, action figures, video games, all of that stuff. And they were left alone to make their comics. Today, they're not. Today, they're on the lot. Today, they're sifting through pitches to see what they are going to okay to even be a comic, because they may have interest. It wasn't that long ago. Kevin Smith wanted to do a question miniseries at DC Comics, and they said, no, we can't. Our TV people aren't into it. And Kevin Smith said, who said anything about TV? I was just trying to do a comic. That's the world the American comic book industry is now in. And yet, and I hate to bring this up in creator rights and stuff, but nobody's ever actually compensated comic creators correctly for all they do for the media. And yet we're already there. Now we're going to live and die by media. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of nerve-wracking if you're into comics. If you're not, then this video probably doesn't do anything for you. I have a long history with working in comics, and I still love the idea of being able to go buy a cool comic every now and then. I fear that those days are going to be next to nothing. That they're timed. At least mainstream comics, as far as Marvel and DC goes. I don't know. I just don't see the upside to this. That comic publishing is getting pulled this close into the streaming side. I just don't see the upside. Even when they did the first streaming DC app thing, they put comics on it. Nobody cared about the comics that were on there. They were only watching Teen Titans or whatever cartoon or live action thing they had up there. I just don't know, besides storyboards, research and development, what comics actually means to James Gunn yet. I really don't get that vibe. I don't get that feeling. I've yet to see anything written here about the big publishing initiative or refurbishing these IPs for a new generation. None of that, really. I do see a 10-year plan, but I've also seen franchises not get sequels tons of times. I mean, this all sounds great to shareholders, but 10 years of this is a lot. That's a big investment. I don't know if they're overreaching on this a little bit, or again, I think it's just there to sound good to shareholders. Let me know what you think down below. Also, sign up for Shane Davis's Anatomic Welcome to the Arena, launching this Saturday. If you guys will, let me know if you've signed up in the comments below. Retweet it out, and we are going to feature a 24-hour cover. So make sure you're there this Saturday for that. And I'll leave you guys with a trailer for this smash hit comic launching this weekend. And I'll catch you guys again with another video.
If fighting was a god, I would worship him. I would bow to him. I would pray for victory. For he only grants opportunities. But behind every god lurks a devil. And the devil wants me to take a dive. My name is Anatomic. And this is how my legend was made.